Hello everybody, it is Steve, your friendly neighborhood lawn gnome. Welcome back to another video over here on That's Comical, and if you happen to be watching on a Wednesday, happy new comic book day. Now, before I get into the specifics of the video, I'm sure that some of you who have followed me from my original channel, you are noticing me in some familiar territory. Yes, that is correct. I am happy to announce that I officially have my basement back, and I am just very excited to get back to my old groove and finally getting back to recording content in a place that is surrounded with amazing popular culture that many of you have known so well throughout the years. But today, we're going to go step back into the MCU and talk about another Marvel television show that was available on Disney+. Now, this one did in fact come out before Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I've already reviewed, but this, in regards to the storyline, takes place a little while after the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and that, of course, is WandaVision, which, of course, brings Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany back into the world as Vision and Wanda, and this is definitely a very interesting ride for Marvel fans. So, I am not going to say I'm going to hold back with spoilers because this show has been out for almost a year, so I don't feel there is anything wrong with talking a little bit about it. So, this story is about Wanda. Wanda not only grieving for the loss of her lover Vision, but also her transforming into the character that she is mostly well known by in the world of comics, and that, of course, is the Scarlet Witch. The way that it is done, however, is done in a very interesting and unique way. We see Wanda has moved to a little suburban town called Westview. And Westview is where she and Vision are building a life together in the form of various decades of television programming. We start off in the 1950s and we go all the way to the 2000s, and we see them growing their family by seeing their twins be born, which are Billy and Tommy, who would eventually show up in the Marvel Comics as two superheroes as well. And we even get some other interesting things like the return of Pietro, but in a very unique way. And we also have another specific character named Agnes, who is constantly showing up and basically befriending them and giving them guidance to adjusting to life in the neighborhood. But slowly as the show progresses, we learn that this is definitely something a little bit deeper. And it turns out that this is pretty much Wanda tapping deep into her abilities to create an artificial world through the purposes of her mind, as well as brainwashing the townspeople around it, because there is a force field that is built outside Westview, and agents of S.W.O.R.D., including seeing Kat Denning's return as Darcy, as well as a older version of Monica Rambeau, trying to figure out what is going on and exactly what is Wanda doing in there. Is she actually hurting anybody? And throughout the entire series, we see some very interesting revelations, and we also find out who the culprit is. It is definitely a very unique and interesting television experience, especially if you are a fan of television shows in general. What I really took away from this that I enjoyed was all of the homage to all of the old television shows that they parodied. We saw everything from the Dick Van Dyke Show to the Mary Tyler Moore Show, Family Ties, Malcolm in the Middle, The Modern Family, you name it. And we also got a couple of interesting things that, as a comic book fan, really put my mind at ease. Whereas you really cannot have actors in live-action comic book movies in regards to their superhero costumes completely accurate, because it just looks like an absolute kooky and cheesy disaster. So now I sort of have taken a step back in regards to my fanboy element and really accepting the worlds for what they are just a little bit more. I also really appreciated all the deep thoughts that went into creating this specific story, and it also really gave us an understanding of just how powerful Wanda is, and especially when she officially becomes the Scarlet Witch. As far as I'm concerned, I know exactly how powerful she is, but the real question is going to be, what are these powers going to be doing further on in Phase 4 and into Phase 5? Because there's a lot of rumors floating around. Is she going to be the one that brings the X-Men into this universe because of what she did in the comic books in the exact opposite way? Or is she going to be a hero or a villain in Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness? And just how much of this show do we need to know when we actually go and see the second Doctor Strange film? Also, what happened with Vision is even more interesting, and the question is, what is Vision going to be a little further on down the line as well? But I would definitely say that if you want to see a truly unique experience, I would definitely say that WandaVision is the right choice for you, though another thing that I personally didn't really care for is the fact that people seem to have this real big obsession with Agatha Harkness, who is also a very well-known Marvel character, to the point where people loved her so much that she's going to get her own spin-off show. I don't know how she's going to carry that show, but I am definitely going to say that now that I have access to Disney Plus, I will definitely be checking it out. So yeah, definitely give WandaVision a shot. It definitely was not better than Falcon and the Winter Soldier, at least for me, but I did appreciate the originality and the uniqueness that this show gave us. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Just leave your comments in the box below. Let's have a conversation, and I'll see you in the next one.